Dear students, today I have to discuss a lot of things with you, especially regarding group 15 and group 16 elements of P block elements. And already through Google Meet class, I had discussed with you that the P block elements is concerned with the reasoning questions, structures, and the chemical reactions. The chemical reactions, somewhere in chemical reactions it is necessary to remember, but somewhere it is not. As I taught you that very easy way of the chemical properties of the nitric acids. Already I discussed with you about the chemical properties of nitric acid, that it is not necessary to remember it. It is very easy, and I discussed with you. Now, there are so many reasoning questions in P block elements, that is group 15 and 16 today I will discuss mostly. As for example, oxides in the higher oxidation state are more acidic than that of oxides in lower oxidation state. The acidic character of oxides of group 15 elements decreases down the group, metallic character increases in going down the group, steric hindrance increases from F to I. That is why PBr5, PI5 are not are unstable or do not exist. NH3 forms complexes compounds with transition elements, but PH3 does not. N2 is gas, but phosphorus is solid. Sulfur is solid, but oxygen is gas. Nitrogen exists as N2, but phosphorus exists as P4. Sulfur exists as S8, but oxygen exists as O2. So there are so many questions, and these all things related to the reasoning, mainly the answers of reasoning questions are related to the anomalous behavior of nitrogen and sulfur. As for example, nitrogen is gas, while because what are the anomalous behavior of nitrogen in group 15 elements? Nitrogen is small in size, it doesn't have d orbitals, it forms p pi multiple bond with oxygen and with itself. Hydrogen bonding is present in the case of nitrogen, but phosphorus does not form hydrogen bond, or it forms rarely with other element due to a small size of nitrogen. Similar is the case with oxygen. So this is the meaning of the anomalous behavior. Now, what happens? As for example, I am taking help of a question to discuss with you, that is, oxides in the higher oxidation state are more acidic than that of oxides in the lower state. Why is it so? Because in higher state, element has much positive charge and it has tendency to accept electron. That's why it is acidic. But in lower oxidation state, it does not have such type of tendency. That's why acidic character decreases. Oxides of group 15 elements, the acidic character of oxides of group, now the acidic character of group 15 elements decreases down the group. This is another thing. Acidic character decreases down the oxides, uh, means N2O5 is more acidic than P2O5. P2O5 is more acidic than AS2O5 and so on. So why is it so? Because on going down the group, metallic character of elements increases because the elements has become tendency to lose electrons because its size increases. That's why, as for example, in the in group 15 elements, nitrogen, phosphorus, arsenic is a are non-metals. They behave like non-metals and metalloid, but bismuth is metal. So this is the reason that metallic character increases. That's why its acidic oxides of group 15 element, the acidic character of oxides of group 15 element decreases down the group. Now the steric hindrance, due to steric hindrance, PCl5 is possible. The formation of PBr5 and PI5 are not possible. They are unstable because size of bromine, size of iodine increases. That's why the it becomes difficult to accommodation of the formation of bond to the central atom phosphorus because size is larger. The size of bromine and iodine is larger. So steric hindrance between between B bromine atom takes place, and accommodation of the 5 bromine atom, 5 iodine atom to the central atom to form bond becomes difficult. That's why it is unstable. They are unstable. Means phosphorus pentabromide, phosphorus pentaiodide are unstable. Now, ammonia forms complex compounds with conditional, but phosphorus, PS3 and AS3 do not because they are less basic in comparison to ammonia. Ammonia is more basic due to a small size of nitrogen. Electron density increases because you know that density is equal to the mass by volume. So mass means the number of electron here. The number of electron in each and every case is same, but the size of the atom increases. That's why when you will divide the number of or the mass of electron by the size of the atom, it will become less and less. That's why density becomes less and less from nitrogen to arsenic and so on. From nitrogen to arsenic. That's why ammonia is more basic and it has tendency to donate lone pair to the d orbital of the central atom of the transition element. That's why it forms complexes. Now the resonance structure of the oxides of nitrogen. See here, you will find this in the perhaps I taught you about let me see, where is it? No, in this it is not available. Let me go back and group 15 part 1. Yes, no, Group 15 part 1 here. Group 15 part 2. Yes. Yes. This is about. So what do you find here? So how will you feel easy to write the resonating structures of these molecules? You have to calculate first the number of valence electrons. There are three things with this. First of all, calculate the number of valence electron. Second, now you have to put the atom in such a way that each and every atom should have octet and arrange the electrons according to that and automatically you will find the resonance structure. Suppose in the case of and the third thing is that you will the octet structure cannot be satisfied in the case of odd electron molecules. Means what is odd electron molecules? In which the number of valence electron, total number of valence electron is in odd number. That is not in even number. In that case, octet of each element cannot be completed. So see here, just see here, please see. NO2, in the case of NO2, what is here? In the case of NO2, number of valence electron is 17, and you find that here, you can find here that number of octet of both oxygen is completed here. Means around each and every oxygen atom there are 8 electrons, but not so is the case with the nitrogen atom, because in nitrogen only 7 electrons it has. Because why is it so? Because it is an odd electron molecule. So this is the manner, and put the atoms in such a way that repulsion should be minimized. See the arrangement of oxygen atoms in N2O4, in N2O4, NO2, N2O3, and so on, N2O5. They are arranged apart from each other, and in this way you can find the resonating structures of the oxides of nitrogen. Now about the multiple bonds. What do you mean by multiple bonds? Means different types of bond. So why nitrogen exists as gas? Why oxygen exists as gas, but phosphorus and sulfur do not? This is due to that nitrogen in N2 molecule, the formation of multiple bond takes place because due to their small size and it forms p pi multiple bond, and due to the formation of p pi multiple bond, oxygen and nitrogen are close to each other. That's why they form separate molecule, discrete molecules. Means अलग अलग O2 और N2 के मॉलिक्यूल हो जाते हैं के रूप में वो मिलते हैं, and that's why they exist as gas. But not so is the case in phosphorus and sulfur. In phosphorus, p pi multiple bond does not fall, and due to this, because it has large size, and so side-wise overlapping is possible and that is not effective. That's why it forms, so one phosphorus gets attached to other phosphorus with p p single bond, and this pp single bond takes the structure like tetrahedral structure, and it forms a strong bond, and van der Waals force is very strong in this case. That's why it is solid. But van der Waals force in the case of N2 means between N2 and N2 van der Waals force, or between O2 and N2 van der Waals force is weak. That's why they exist as gas. But in the case of phosphorus and sulfur, van der Waals force is strong, and sulfur exists as puckered ring structure, and in phosphorus it is pp single bond. And that's why phosphorus, sulfur exist as solid, and they also exist as P4 and S8, but nitrogen as N2, oxygen as O2. Now I have to discuss with you about the structure of the oxo acids. So structure of oxo acid we can see here. Suppose this is about the structure of oxo acid of sulfur. So very easy. This is the structure of sulfurous acid, and you know that sulfur has 6 valence electron. So you will find you have to put the bond in such a way that around each and every sulfur atom there should be 6 electrons. So see here in this case, what do you find? Sulfur has 2 bonds towards the oxygen, sulfur has 1 bond towards OH. In this case, sulfur has 1 bond towards OH, and in this way, so total valence electron it is 4, not 2 electrons remained, and that is here, see here, 2 electrons, so 6 valence electron. And as its basicity, so you will have to remember the basicity, as its basicity is 2, that's why 2 OH group is attached with this sulfur atom. And now since its structure is H2SO3, so 1 oxygen remained, that's why 1 oxygen atom is linked with double bond here. So in this way you can get the structure of sulfurous acid. Similarly, you can get the structure of sulfuric acid. Its basicity is also 2, but it has oxygen atom 4. It has 4 oxygen atoms. That's why 1 more oxygen atom is bonded with double bond here. So this is about the structure. Now see here in this structure, what happens? Peroxo means remove. So put structures of 2 sulfuric acids side by side, and remove 2 hydrogen atoms from there. So see here, 2 hydrogen atoms were removed and 2 oxygen atoms are linked with each other, and you will get the structure of peroxosulfuric acid. Now what is the strategy of this structure? Remove water, put the structures of 2 sulfuric acids side by side, and remove water molecule. When you will remove water molecule, this oxygen atom is linked with each other and you will get the structure of pyrosulfuric acid. So this is about that is oleum. So in this way, this is the manner to get the sulfuric acid structures of oxo acids of sulfur. There is no need to remember. Now, the structure of oxo acid of group 15. Same strategy exists here. Structure of oxo acid of group 15. Yes, see here. Very easy. This is the structure of S3PO. Let us see the structure of S3PO2. S3PO2, yes. Its basicity is 1. That's why one OH group is attached. And 2 hydrogen atoms are attached with it. So more the hydrogen atoms, more is the reducing power. So S3PO2 is more reducing agent than S3 then S3PO3. So this is S3PO3. It has only one hydrogen atom. One hydrogen atom is directly attached with the phosphorus and two hydroxyl groups. So its basicity is 2 because 2 hydroxyl group is attached. It has 2 replaceable hydrogen atom. When it will remove H plus from here, automatically 2H plus will be obtained. So its basicity is 2, and since the covalency or the valence electron of the phosphorus is 5, so there are 5 bonds around the phosphorus atom. Now, see its structure. The structure of this is a structure of phosphoric acid S3PO. It is tetrahedral structure. So 3 hydroxyl basicity is 3 here. So 3 hydroxyl group. No hydrogen atom is directly attached with this phosphorus. That's why its reducing power is less in comparison to S3PO2, S3PO3. And this structure very easy. When structures of 2 phosphoric acid is put side by side and water molecule is removed from by combining 2 OH, then you will get the structure of this phosphoric acid. Very easy. Remove one water molecule by joining 2 structures of 2 phosphoric acid, and you will get the structure of H4P2O7, that is pyrophosphoric acid. Very easy. This is not your task to remember it. So in this way you can get that, I mean to say that in this way you can write or get the structures of oxo acids of phosphorus and sulfur, considering the basicity, considering the structure means tetrahedral, considering joining of 2, removing means dehydration of sulfuric acid or phosphoric acid, means considering the total number of valence electron or total number of, considering the covalency of phosphorus and sulfur, that in each and every case there must be, suppose in the case of phosphorus there must be 5 covalent bond around phosphorus. In case of sulfur, there must be 6 covalent bond around sulfur. So in this way you can get the structures and solution of this chapter and so on. If you will feel any problem, you can ask. I welcome you to ask through WhatsApp or in Google Meet class. Thank you.